So someone had asked about how to do sales tax reports in Inflatable Office. Asked for an example, so I'm just going to do a real quick example for you in our demo account. Remember, our demo account doesn't have great data, so we're not always going to see the way it would look in your account, but let's go ahead and give it a try. So I'm going to click Customize Report down here at the bottom, and since I want to do, in this case, I'm going to do by county. I think that's what they're asking about. So county is what I want to have in there. You can see we always put the first word is related to the object. So that's a lead. We're also going to be getting some of these tax numbers here. So I want to see the tax. You probably want to see the total, and maybe want to be the taxable total. Before tax, the subtotal. And probably going to want something like the tax rate. Go down and get that. Probably going to want the tax rate. Maybe even we want to know if it's exempt or not. Well, you know what? I tell you, exempt isn't going to work for us in this case because we're going to group by county. So whenever you do a grouping, I'll show you how to do that. Whenever you do a grouping, it's going to summarize everything onto one line. So if I have 10 leads in the same county, it's going to only show one row, and it's going to show that county, and that county should be the same, right? Because we're grouping and they all have the same. But with all the other items, it's going to either sum them or show the value. And so if you were to put something like tax exempt in, how would it sum that or show that value for those 10? Because they could be different, right? But in the case of dollar amounts, it should show the sum. And then in the case of the tax rate, it should just show one of those, which should be the same for each one. May not always be the case if your area doesn't do tax by county. That in that case, the rates could be different. But we're going to assume that they're going to be the same in this example. So I'm going to also sort by the county. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. I'm going to say create a new report. That way, if we want to get back to it later, we can. This is actually the second time I tried to do this demo for you. The first time I didn't record properly, so I named it number 2. Anyway, we're going to save that, but we can view right from here, and we can export to Excel right from here. Let's go click view and see what we got. So here you go. You're going to see, obviously, we have some incorrect data right here. Well, it looks like it's probably because we didn't have any taxable events in that county. But you can see that we're getting these all summed up over here, so we know exactly how much money was done in each county and what the tax was in each county. And then we can export to Excel here. We see the totals at the bottom. Another useful report that you can build, well, before I do that, let me show you one more thing here. One of the things that we didn't do is we didn't filter. You're normally going to filter, so you're going to say, I'm looking just at this month or whatever, and you're going to change maybe the statuses to just be complete or something like that. And once you save a report, you can actually access it from this list once you refresh the page. I haven't refreshed the page, so I can't access that one yet. So I'm just going to bring it back up this way, but it's easy enough to do. So when I view it this time, you'll see that I have much less data here. I'm just going to see, obviously this is not very representative of a real account, but the filter is going to be important because that's going to define what data is being used to generate that report that you created. Another report that would be kind of useful potentially would be one that's not grouped by county. It would instead maybe just show it all. Right, so we're just going to get rid of the grouping. We'll still leave the sort by county. I think maybe that would be useful because it'll kind of collect it together. And maybe in this case, what we would want to do is show the exempt information. So we can do that. What is that at? So just to give you an example, so that's going to show them all. So that's based on this. I'm going to just save over our other one, just for ease. But that's based on our filter. I'm going to get rid of the filters so we have more data on it. Close that, and we'll do it again. I didn't get rid of the filter completely. I need to just reset the filter because I didn't change the status in there. So one last time here, show you how that's going to work. So that's going to show me each individual lead. So now I'm not grouping. I'm just sorting them. So they're next to each other, but they're not grouped together. And I would usually look at both of them. You know, this one would be one that you could look at to see, okay, does everything look like it should? Oh, why is this tax exempt? You know, maybe you'd want to check on that. You know, another thing you could have added to this was the organization's name, or maybe more address information, or the lead ID. But all of these are clickable. So if you're like, want to know what this is, I can middle click on this here, and it's going to open up a new tab. It's going to show me what it is, and I can, you know, look at it in more detail. But this would be a good one to look at just to make sure that everything looks in order. And then, you know, you can do the grouped report, which actually shows the totals. So that's kind of a quick crash course on how to build a report that would help you with your sales tax. If you need further help with this, make sure you just contact our support team. They'll help you understand how to do the sorting and the grouping, and get all the columns in there that you need for your report. Sometimes it takes a couple reports to get exactly what you want. And again, sometimes you take something like this and you download it to Excel, and then you just manipulate it from there. And sometimes that's the easiest way to do it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope it was helpful. Thanks.